Greetings everyone and welcome back again. If you've watched my Raspberry Pi tutorials, you may have seen that I used an Android screen capture program to record the XBMC remote apps functionality in the second part of the series. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself without rooting your Android device. We'll look at download, installation and setup of the programs needed. Then I'll show you how to configure your Android device ready to plug into the computer, and also a quick demonstration. First program required is at this link. It's the Java Development Kit. To download, click here, check the box to agree to their terms, and then choose the kit that's right for you, and it will start to download. Next up is the Android Development Kit found here. It's only one button for this, so click it and start the download again. Lastly is the program itself. You can find it at sourceforge.net and the program is called A-Shot. So click download and it will start to download in a few seconds on the next page. That's the three programs needed, although only A-Shot and one part of the Android Development Kit are actually used, but we'll come back in a second once they're downloaded. I'm not going to talk you through the installation of these programs because it's pretty much just the same as anything else you've installed before. Just double click it to start or run it straight from your browser, hit next, next, next and finish when you're done. With all three programs installed, first open the Android SDK Manager. From here we're going to install the Google USB drivers so your computer can recognize the device when it's plugged in. So navigate to Extras, find and check Google USB drivers and then click Install One Package, accept and then install. If it said more than one, check something in the other categories aren't marked for installation too. It's not going to make a difference, but there's no point in installing it if you don't need it. Now we need to copy some files in the Android SDK folder. So navigate to it in your File Explorer, then find the newly created Platform Tools folder. In here, copy these two ADB Win API DLL files and also the other ADB file, and then paste those directly into the Tools folder, which is in the same Android SDK directory. The program we need to have running before we open A-Shot is started by this DDMS batch file, so for ease of use I'm going to create a desktop shortcut to it so I don't have to keep this folder open. We're almost ready to connect the Android device, but first you have to put it into USB debug mode. This method works for Android 4.0 and above. My phone here uses Android 4.1.1. To turn on USB debug mode, from the settings go to developer options and at the top of the screen turn them on and say OK to the warning. Under debugging we see the option we want, so check it on and say OK again. I also like to turn on the Stay Awake option, which obviously stops your device from going into standby while you're using it. And I turn on Show Touches, which gives you a small circle cursor so you can see where you're actually touching the screen. Lastly, to stop any unnecessary lag between devices, I turn off my live wallpaper in favour of something less processor intensive. To connect your device, first start that DDMS batch file, the one that I made a shortcut for earlier, and you'll see that there's nothing connected. Now with your device still in USB debug mode, connect your USB lead. If all's gone to plan, you should see the device appear in the window. So I can go back into the developer options via the status bar and disable debug mode. This disconnects it from the PC, and if we hit it again, it comes back. And if you look on the status bar, it says it's connected. Before we start A-Shot, I just want to show you that you can get images off your device straight from this program. If you click on device and then screen capture, you get a screenshot. Now, I wouldn't really call this screen capture as it's just a still image, but for what it is, it works well. If you hit refresh every time you do something on your device, you get a new screenshot. And of course, you can rotate the window to give you the best orientation for when you're using your device in landscape mode or whatever. And if you need to, you can hit save and you have the option to save the image as a PNG file. Okay, we're ready to start up A-Shot now, so minimize these but leave them running. Now start the program. There we have it, just as before, except this time it's a live feed of the device. Now I have it set to maximum frame rate and I get about 10 to 15 frames per second. My computer is reasonably powerful, as is my phone, but your experience might differ depending on the specification of your devices. As I swipe through the home screen, it changes automatically on screen, and if I do it a little slower, you can see the cursor on the screen. Now hit this button to go into full screen mode. It's the same thing, but I found this mode was better for recording it to video. And escape cancels full screen mode. Like before, you can also change the orientation by turning the clockwise and counterclockwise options on and off. And this is a nice feature for collecting continual stills. File Start Capture takes continuous screenshots at about 10 frames a second, but only as the screen changes. Then it produces a whole host of images for you to review later, and if I open them up and scroll through them, it looks just like the capture itself. Well, that's it. Hopefully you've learned how to screen capture your Android device. Thanks for watching.